Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting informed by unpacking the source material you send us.
And today, we've got something pretty intense.
Yeah, definitely not subtle. We're diving into excerpts from the audiobook, F You Money, Make as Much Money as You Damn Well Want and Live Your Life as You Damn Well Please. The author is Dan Lok.
Right. And, just from that title, this isn't your standard financial advice. He's very clear up front.
What does he say?
He basically says this program is not for the easily offended or the faint of heart.
Mm-hmm.
He delivers it straight, no bullshit, fluff, or sugarcoating, as he puts it.
Okay, so expect directness. And he has this interesting take on originality, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says originality is highly overrated. His point is he's not claiming to have invented all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's sharing what worked for him. And he tells listeners, take it cafeteria style.
Pick and choose what works for you. Makes sense.
And his own story is kind of central to his whole perspective. He talks about coming to North America with literally nothing.
No money, no English, right?
Exactly. Started from zero, apparently made a lot of mistakes, got into massive debt, like $150K, but eventually became a self-made multimillionaire. Says he can retire anytime.
Okay, so that's the setup. Our mission today, then, is to look past the, let's say, provocative style and really pull out the core ideas. What are the challenging perspectives, the actual insights from these excerpts?
Mm-hmm.
We want to get a handle on this FU money concept and his, often unconventional path to getting it.
Sounds good. So let's start right there. What actually is FU money, according to Dan Lok?
He defines it pretty starkly. It's the enough is enough number.
Enough is enough. Okay.
Yeah, the financial point where, and this is his phrase, you don't have to take shit from anybody.
Wow, okay.
Where you make enough that you can basically say, well, F you to anyone, anywhere, without consequence. That's the literal definition he gives.
But it's more than just being able to be rude to people.
Oh, absolutely. He explains that phrase is really a metaphor, a very strong one, but a metaphor.
A metaphor for what then?
For complete and total financial freedom. The real ability to live your life exactly, precisely as you want to live it.
So what does that look like in practice?
It means, doing things you've always wanted to do, deciding when and how often you see family and friends, without money being the deciding factor.
Right. Not having to miss things because you can't afford the time off or the travel.
Exactly. Buying things you need or want without stressing over the price tag. Being able to give generously to causes you believe in.
Traveling first class, if that's your thing. Hiring help.
Yeah, a cleaner, a cook, whatever, frees up your time. Or just having the freedom to pursue a passion, like writing or music, even if it doesn't pay the bills initially.
So it's really about choice and control.
That's it. And he stresses it's not just the dollar amount, it's a state of mind, a way of thinking, ultimately, a way of living. He calls it true liberation.
Okay, true liberation. But he immediately contrasts that with a big pitfall, doesn't he?
He does. The trap of chasing money where it's never enough.
The moving goalpost problem.
Exactly. He uses that classic example. You hit 50K, great, but now you need 100K, then 200K, 500K, $1 million.
And your spending just magically expands to meet the new income.
Right. He argues even millionaires and billionaires get caught. They say they're keeping score, but he thinks it's more about being addicted to the process of chasing it.
Which kind of begs the question, when is it enough?
Yeah, and he really pushes you, the listener, on this. It's one of his assignment questions in the book. How do you define your FU money? Not just the number, but the lifestyle. What does that true liberation actually look like for you? Get specific.
Okay, so once you've defined the goal, he seems to pivot hard into attacking, pretty much all conventional wisdom about money.
Yeah, he calls them the FU money myths, and he's pretty brutal about most advice you'd find in, say, a typical bookstore.
He doesn't hold back, does he? Like on the self-help stuff?
No, the touchy-feely prosperity books. He basically asks, how can someone teach you to be rich if they aren't rich themselves? Calls being rich spiritually, but poor financially a lame-ass excuse.
Ouch. And the motivational stuff, affirmations, visualization.
He calls it motivational psychobabble. Says it's useless without action. And he flips the script. He argues feeling good comes from making money and achieving things, not the other way around.
Interesting. What about business books?
Academics, paper gurus, he dismisses them for lacking real in-the-trenches experience. Says they overcomplicate things.
Okay. And step-by-step guides.
Some are okay for mechanics, he admits, but they don't prepare your mind, which he thinks is crucial.
And the standard financial advice. Work hard, save, invest, retire at 65.
He calls that ludicrous. He's suspicious of experts working for mutual fund companies, implies they're just making fees off you.
So if all that is out, where does he think you should learn?
Autobiographies, specifically of super successful entrepreneurs, Branson, Jobs, Gates, Buffett, people like that.
Why them?
Because they've been there and done that. His core idea is success leaves clues. You can literally follow the footsteps of success. That's his preferred learning method.
Okay, let's dig into some of those specific myths he tackles, because this is where it gets really counterintuitive, like myth #5. You have to be a cheapskate.
Yeah, this one goes against everything most people are taught about money. His advice, forget budgeting. The hell with the budget.
Seriously?
Yeah. He says, spend the money, enjoy life now. He asks, what are you saving it for anyway?
Okay, but what's the logic there? How does not budgeting help you get rich?
His argument is fascinating. He says focusing all your energy on pinching pennies actually stops you from focusing on the much bigger lever, generating dollars.
So it's an opportunity cost thing.
Exactly. His line that really nails it is, a penny saved is still just a fucking penny. Your focus should be on making dollars, not saving pennies.
He has that story about his friends, right?
Yeah.
Like in Andrea.
Yeah, illustrates it perfectly. They were earning low wages, got advice from a church financial guru to budget like crazy.
And how did that feel?
Mike said it made them feel totally focused on limitations and scarcity.
So what did they do instead?
They decided to change their income, not just their spending. They took a $1,500 course, not college, to learn direct response copywriting.
A high-income skill.
Right. And the result? Within 3 years, they're making over $250K a year. Working from home, outsourcing, setting their own schedule. They didn't budget their way out. They earned their way out.
That's a powerful example. He also talks about his own habits, right? Conditioning himself.
Yeah, conditioning for wealth, he calls it. Even when he was broke. Things like having coffee in 5-star hotel lobbies.
Or taking a limo to the airport instead of a cab.
Exactly. He says it cost a bit more, but it fundamentally changed his perception, his mindset. Over-tipping, even when things were tight.
So the point wasn't really the spending itself.
No, it was about thinking and feeling like someone who already had FU money. Training his brain to be comfortable with that lifestyle. He argues most people try to save their way to bankruptcy because they sacrifice living now for tiny savings.
Which, again, makes you question your own habits. Are your beliefs about saving actually limiting your focus on earning? That's a tough question he poses.
Definitely. Okay, next myth. Myth #6. You have to get rich slow.
The virtue of patience. He doesn't buy that.
Not really. His logic is simple. If getting rich is possible, why deliberately choose to do it slowly? He says there's nothing wrong with getting rich quickly.
Okay, but quickly how? Is he talking about get-rich-quick schemes?
No, he's clear on that. It's not about scams or luck. It's about actively developing the skills, the knowledge, the business savvy to earn wealth rapidly.
So it's about becoming capable of rapid wealth creation.
Exactly. Becoming, in his words, a person who is worthy of wealth.
He mentioned his own story here too, right? The overnight success that wasn't.
Yeah, the 7-year overnight success, meaning years of grinding and learning, building the foundation, which then allowed for a period of really fast wealth growth.
So slow build, fast break.
Kind of. He says millionaires often get started slowly building that base, but then get rich on a fast break once they apply leverage correctly. They're always thinking, what have I done today to move closer to my FU money?
Okay, that idea of leverage seems key. And it leads right into probably the biggest myth he busts. Myth #7. You have to work hard to make money.
This one really flies in the face of the old work ethic mantras.
So hard work isn't enough.
Absolutely not. According to him, hard work alone is insufficient. He makes the point, a good work ethic alone won't get you to the bank. Money doesn't care how hard you worked when you deposit it.
So if not hard work, then what?
Leverage. That's the absolute core concept here, achieving maximum productivity with minimum effort.
Can you give an example of what he means by leverage?
He gives this really striking one. Writing a single email that took him maybe 15 minutes,
Good.
and it generated over $25,000 in sales. That's not hard work in the traditional sense of hours logged. That's leveraging skill, an audience, a system.
Wow. Okay, that's leverage. And that ties into his ROTI idea.
Exactly. Return on time invested. He throws out this figure like, if you're aiming for $1 million a year, your time should be worth roughly $1,700 an hour.
$1,700 an hour.
Yeah. And the principle is, if you're doing anything that isn't generating that kind of value or leading directly to it, you need to stop doing it. Outsource it or eliminate it.
So things like mowing the lawn, Grocery shopping.
All those things. Vacuuming, bookkeeping, washing the car, tasks you can pay someone else much, much less than $1,700 an hour to do. Doing them yourself is a massive waste of your highest potential earning time.
So focus only on the high income generating activities.
That's the idea. Which forces another question onto you, the listener. What low-value tasks are eating your time right now? How could you apply leverage, or this ROTI thinking, to free yourself up for what really matters financially?
It's a challenging framework. Okay, so beyond these specific myths, he really hammers on the psychological side of things, right?
Hugely. He states it flat out in chapter 16. Psychology is the biggest reason most people don't make the FU money. It all comes down to what's going on in your head.
How does he illustrate that?
He says, imagine giving two people the exact same perfect business plan. Step-by-step instructions.
Okay.
One person will succeed, the other will fail. Why? Not the plan. It's their belief. One person believed she could do it, the other person did not believe. Mindset is everything.
And a huge part of that mindset is taking responsibility.
100% responsibility. Chapter 12. His stance is, well, it's harsh. If your life stinks, it's your own damn fault.
Wow. No room for excuses there.
None. Zero blame on the government, the economy, parents, bad luck, anything. The buck always stops with you. He insists you simply cannot be a victim of circumstances and get rich. You have to decide what you're willing to do, what price you will pay.
And that internal focus means you also have to deal with external negativity. Critics, people who don't support you.
Oh yeah, chapter 11 covers that. He believes most people, even friends and family sometimes, don't really want you to succeed too much beyond them. They'll try to pull you back down.
The crabs in a bucket analogy.
Exactly. So his advice is basically, you have to plow through mounds of crap, fight like hell for your focus, and just accept you're going to piss some people off.
And what about the critics themselves?
His view, they're losers. Their opinions are worthless. You have to insulate your mindset, protect your energy.
Okay, that's intense.
Yeah.
What about building yourself up? Self-esteem, confidence?
Absolutely critical. Chapter 15. High self-esteem is the foundation of all success. You must believe you deserve wealth. Not ego, he says, but certainty.
And what if you lack that confidence starting out?
He says lack of self-confidence is the kiss of death. It stops people from even beginning. But, interestingly, he thinks money and actually accomplishing things are what build confidence. It's a feedback loop.
So you kind of have to start even if you don't feel fully confident.
Yeah, he touches on fake it till you make it, but also leveraging things you have done. Remind yourself, I did X before, I can certainly do this. Build on past wins to fuel current confidence.
Makes sense. But all this mindset stuff doesn't matter without action.
Action is paramount. Chapter 10, he hammers this home again and again. You will never be totally prepared. Waiting for perfection is fatal.
If you wait for the perfect conditions, you'll be waiting till the day you die. That's his line.
That's the one. And his key insight, knowledge alone is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So many people get stuck just learning, reading, planning.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Afraid to make mistakes.
Right. His advice, take massive constant action and get this, get busy failing.
Get busy failing.
Yeah. Mistakes aren't bad. They mean you're moving, you're learning, you're making progress. You don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time.
Okay, massive action. But it doesn't matter what action. Does focus come into it?
Absolutely. Chapters 20, 21, 23. He's really critical of what he calls opportunity seekers. People jumping from one shiny object to the next, the latest money-making scheme.
So don't chase everything.
No. He says that builds nothing substantial. His advice is focus. Build multiple streams of income within one business, not tons of separate little ventures.
So dominate one area first.
Exactly. Pick one market, learn it inside out. Exhaust its potential by adding more products, more services for those same customers before you even think about starting something totally new.
Got it. Does he give criteria for picking that one business or market?
He does. Chapter 23 lays out his characteristics of an ideal business. Things like doing something you actually enjoy, serving a market with high demand.
Okay.
It needs to be scalable, meaning you can grow it fast, add income streams, sell more to your existing base. High profit margins he likes 100% or more, which is huge.
Wow. What else?
Leveraging other people's time and resources, outsourcing is key.
Yeah.
Potential for recurring income, low overhead, and importantly, you need to be in control.
And he sees internet businesses as fitting this model well.
Very much so. Chapters 24, 27, he argues they offer incredible leverage, scalability, low overhead. Many fit his ideal characteristic.
He gives some specific keys for internet businesses too, right? As examples.
Yeah, his 7 golden keys to internet riches in chapter 26. They really just apply the core principles. Market first, copy is king, build an actual business asset, not just an income stream.
Multiple income streams within that one business.
Right. Leverage others, use your personality and story to connect, automate everything you can. It's all consistent with the bigger themes.
So, underlying all this, is it easy? Does he promise a simple path?
Not at all. He emphasizes it takes time and tremendous effort. It's not passive. It's not always easy. But, and this is the crucial part, that he argues it is achievable for average people.
Not through luck, though.
Definitely not luck, chapter 6. It's through deliberately developing the skills, the ability, the knowledge. You have to, as he puts it, earn the right to be rich.
Okay, so if we boil down this whole deep dive, what's the core message from Dan Lok's FU Money excerpts?
I think it's that FU money isn't just about the cash. It's way bigger than that. It's about achieving genuine freedom.
Right, and getting there requires a very specific mindset, often a really unconventional one.
Yeah, a whole different way of thinking and living. And it's earned. You earn it by taking that radical responsibility, he talks about.
No excuses.
By actively challenging the standard advice, the mediocre thinking, prioritizing that leverage concept, and taking focused, massive action instead of just grinding away or pinching pennies.
And constantly working on yourself, your skills, your mindset, to become someone capable of handling that wealth and freedom.
Exactly. And he's upfront. It's not for everyone. It demands total commitment, a willingness to do whatever the hell it takes.
Within limits, hopefully.
Yes, he does specify within moral, legal, ethical bounds, but the commitment level has to be extreme.
So for you listening, what's the takeaway? He leaves you with a pretty direct challenge at the end of the source material, doesn't he?
He really does. He basically says, okay, you've heard the how, you've got the ideas, the strategies, the mindset shifts from this deep dive.
And if you don't take action now,
you have absolutely no one to blame but yourself. That's his parting shot.
Which leads us, and you, with a final provocative thought to chew on, building right off that challenge. Having heard all this, what is one specific concrete thing you will actually do today, right after listening, to move yourself even one step closer towards your definition of FU money and the freedom it represents?
Because the ideas are just noise without the action. What's your first step?